I'm not that hungover.
Did you guys have fun at the party last night? It was a pretty good party, yeah?
What a party, right, guys? For those of you guys tuning in live, you missed one hell of a party. If y'all think they should join us next time, make some noise.
Awesome. Anybody a little hungover today? No?
A little tired?
No?
I am.
Maybe?
I don't know how I'm going to survive in these heels today, but we're going to make it work.
Excellent. Well, we are excited to have you back for day 2 of Mega Grooming Show, and we have a lot of fun in store for you today. We have Gabriel Feitosa today. Are you guys excited about that? You know, we've been talking about launching this event here in the United States since Hydra became a brand here 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, we launched Pet Society here in the United States. And when we initially launched Hydra Professional line for the US at Super Zoo, that was actually my first day with the company. So we talked a lot about how they incorporated education into their program in Brazil. I got to see a lot of pictures and videos, and then I got to attend the 10th anniversary edition of Mega Grooming Show Brazil, and it was just an unbelievable experience. The energy in there was incomparable, seeing groomers with so much passion for the work that they do, a commitment to their craft and to elevating themselves. A family, a group of people that genuinely enjoy each other's company and have a good time together, people that are excited to share ideas. And so we have been dreaming since day 1 of launching Hydra here in the US to have a Mega Grooming Show. And so to have this moment here today and to have all of you joining us is just truly humbling. So thank you so much for joining us.
Give you guys yourselves a round of applause. We really do want to thank...
We also want to thank our staff as well and our sponsors. Without them, this event wouldn't be possible. The amount of work that has gone into this production is crazy. And without our generous sponsors to help support this first launch, this event would not be possible. So can we give them a quick thank you?
And all of you guys for, taking time out of your busy schedule again, for coming here and pushing the boundaries in the pet care industry and making this event so memorable. Our first ever Mega Grooming Show here in the United States. So you guys have come out and you guys did that. You guys made history with us today.
Absolutely. And we are now one big family here. I hope you guys have been feeling the energy this weekend. Have you guys been feeling the energy this weekend, the good vibes here? Absolutely. And so we want to take advantage of that, and I want to try something real quick. So I would like everyone in here to take a minute to close your eyes, and we together are going to set some intentions. We all love this industry. We all care about moving this industry forward. We want to see this industry grow and be the best version because we care about animals. And we care about each other. We want to see professionals elevated. We want to see professionals respected. We want clients that understand the value of our work. And we're going to do that together. What I would like all of you to do is to take a moment to think of just one way over this next year you are going to elevate personally. It could be a goal you have for yourself, could be a goal you have for your business, something you would like to achieve, something you would like to learn, but just one thing that you are going to achieve over the next year. I want you to think about how powerful it is, all of us in this room right now. We have over 225 people in this room between groomers, staff, and sponsors. And I want you to imagine if 225 people achieved just one goal, the catalyst that has to impact other people, to move actions forward, to move goals forward. I want you to think about the impact that could have on this industry. Now, I want you to remember that intention you're setting for this year. I want you to visualize it for a second. I want you to think about what it feels like to accomplish that, how you're gonna feel, where you're gonna be, who you're gonna share that moment with. Now, after you've had a chance to think about that, you can all go ahead and open your eyes. How does that feel? Are you guys excited about that? We can make movement in this room. We can impact an industry. This is just the first step. This is us introducing that catalyst to the industry. The part where this continues is all of you in this room. You guys are what makes this move forward.
Yes.
You guys are the start of this project, and you're gonna be the continuation of it.
Yes. And let's just think about what we just did for a second, guys. There's over 200 people in this room, more joining us live. And if every single one of us achieved that goal over the next year to elevate, imagine the impact that's going to have not only on the grooming industry, but like on our personal lives, the people that we love, the people around us, our clients. That's huge to make over 200 impacts in this world a reality. That's a big deal. So we hope to see you guys next time and you guys have achieved those goals.
Absolutely, guys. I really can't wait to hear from each and every one of you next time we do Mega Grooming Show about what that goal was and how you achieved it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see everybody in this room grow. I am really honored that we got to do this, and I'm excited to see where this leads. You know, this is just the start. So what I would like to do now is take a moment to bring some people to the stage that are very, very special to me and to Sylvia. I met these people 7 years ago. They are the owners and founders of Pet Society and Hydra Professional Line. They have changed my life. I have had the opportunity to travel the world because of them. I have had the opportunity to meet so many amazing people because of them. I have gotten the opportunity to connect with all of you. I've gotten the opportunity to be involved in projects like this because of these people. So please help me welcome to the stage the owners and founders of Pet Society Pet Products, Marlee and Luciano Fagliari.
Let's go, guys.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi. I couldn't hear it. Let's try again. Good morning. Yes, thank you so much. So, did you enjoy the party yesterday? Yeah, it was really amazing, yeah. But much more amazing for us is to be here with you guys. Yeah, promoting this first Mega Grooming Show in the United States. Yeah, and this year is a very special year for us because we are celebrating 20 years of your company, Pet Society. Yeah. And since the beginning, in 2004, we always highlighted the groomers, the groomer strategies. Yeah, since the beginning, since the first years of our company, creating products that can help you, can offer much more value to your job for this professional. Yeah, and with offering safe, high quality, and very good performance to you guys. Okay. And since 2005, we are creating a lot of educational programs. Okay, we take workshops around Brazil. Brazil is a very big country, yeah, and we create this program in order to help our groomers, yeah, to become better and better, okay? And we did this until our first Mega Grooming show that we started 15 years ago in Brazil, okay?
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for joining us these days. Since the beginning, as Marli said, we are investing in education. We are here because the education of our father, our parents, they gave it for us. And education is, we believe that education is the best way to change the society, to change the life of the people. And in terms of pet society, we have our history, and our history is based in human care. We founded the company, the first company 37 years ago for human cosmetic ingredients. And 20 years ago, when we found Pet Society, the decision was we could use ingredients in the grade of the same of our competitors. They are using technical and industrial grade that is much cheaper than cosmetic grade, human cosmetic grade, or we continue using our cosmetic grade that I used to do. Then we decided to use, since the first day of Pet Society, cosmetic human grade to make pet products. Because since the beginning, to make shampoos for dog, different of our competitors, because they consider that shampoos for dog can be simple, we decided to make the same level of the human level. And I think this was the key of the success at the beginning. And the second one is the base of our values, our principles. We are based on respect, honesty, and zero discrimination. And zero discrimination is like a very solid value in our company. For example, if you have a candidate for a new position, and this candidate can have fluent in several languages, can be MBA in Harvard, but if he doesn't say good morning for the housekeeper, he's not the right person to work in our company. And you can check with our employees that are with us for many years. This is our way to do the things. Okay. And another thing is about our factory. Our factory, we invested $12 million 3 years ago, and this company has 75,000 square feet. This factory was designed as a human grade, very modern. For example, the industrial director, he can check the temperature or the speed of the reactor by the mobile. It's very modern. Few companies in the world are using this IoT in the manufacturing system. And in this company, we are able to produce and to export it to the 62 countries that we are exporting now. Another important thing is the purity. You know that the odor is the main ingredient for the production of cosmetics. And we have a very system that we have ultra purification odor to make products for dogs. That's it. That is our way. One another very important thing is about what's happening in the market now. Many companies, many competitors, they are merging with other companies in financial groups mainly, and we don't see that is the best way. Because one company joining a financial group or another big group, this company lose the soul, lose the soul, how do you say, the strategy. The strategy after this doesn't belong to the brand anymore, belongs to the big group. And our decision is Pet Society, Hydra, will become independent. Independent in our strategy, independent to create our products, independent to invest our money to make better products for you. That's it. And to finalize, would you like to invite to the stage the best team in the world? That is our team from United States, please.
Yeah, please. Please come in, come in. Hello. Hi. Woo, hi, everybody. I'd like to thank you so much, Jeremy. Angelica, this lady is amazing. She's prepared everything with her U.S. team, and now of her groomers and people that they were working hard to prepare this event for you. And I think that everything is okay. Are you loving this event? It's okay for you? Yes? So it's because these guys, and I am very proud. We are very proud of your team, yeah? And please, let's give you a round of applause to them, please. Okay. Sure. Yes. We, Luciano and me, we are married, yeah? And we are almost 63 years old, yeah? And we wake up every day, yeah? With this energy, with this motivation, because we have a purpose in your life that is try to contribute to change lives and the markets that we are. So this is why we are here, so happy to be with you. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Everyone look over there.
Thank you.
Camera real quick. Everyone look over there. Excuse me, baby.
Meninos, desce, vem cá. Meninos, vem aqui abaixo. Meninos, abaixem. Olha lá. Meninos, abaixem.
How do I do this?
Eu abaixo.
I got you.
Não sei. Ali. Cadê o
Thank you
Rick?
so much,
Rick!
guys. Thank you.
Ricky!
Oh, Higgy, yes.
Come on, Ricky.
Cadê a Cleise?
Get up here.
Give Ricky a round of applause. He's been handling all the technical stuff behind. And Glazer as well.
Just to introduce you, Cleise is our marketing director. She's in charge of Hydra in Brazil. Yeah. And Ricky, nickname?
Ricky lindo.
His nickname is Ricky Lindo. He's in charge of communication and relationship. Okay? Thanks so much for coming with us. Okay, let's take a picture.
We need a picture, guys. This is a lot for me to do.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you so much, Marlene Luciano. Thank you, and the entire staff of our U.S. team. Thank you, guys. You've been amazing. Let's thank Marlene Luciano. They came all the way over here from Brazil to celebrate with us this weekend for their efforts in the grooming industry and Hydra Professional and Pet Society. And congratulations to them for celebrating 20 years in business. Let's give that a round of applause. Yeah. So now, are you guys ready to get started with day 2?
Let's get it going,
A
yeah?
little louder than that. I know we're a little tired from last night, but... And with that, Gabriel Feitosa.
stage, Gabriel Feitosa!
Hi guys. Oh my God, mega grooming show. I cannot believe how grateful I am for Hydra and for all you guys that came here from so far and all the love that I got this weekend. I'm so happy that we got to dance together yesterday. That was so fun. Ay, gracias. Okay, so today I brought a class to you guys that I wanted to talk to you guys about creative dog grooming, but I want to talk about how that goes beyond applying the dye on the dog. Because the product, the dyes, right, they're quite straightforward. You put it on the hair, let it sit for about 15, 20 minutes, you rinse, and you have the dye drop. Now, the tricky part for me, and I feel like that's what made my work different, it's how to decide what to do, how to do it, and when to stop. And I think that's a big topic that we're going to talk today. I have a really cool dog to bring it to show you guys. But before, I want to introduce to you guys my thought process. What do I think when I'm creating a new creative design, a new character, right? So can we go over the first slide, please? The next slide, actually. This is the first one. Actually. So then, wait, while we wait, can we change the slide? The next one? Guys? Can we change the slide? Okay, anyways. Oh, there we go. How do we differentiate the creative dog grooming from commercial to competition, right? When I started creative dog grooming, I actually wasn't really into it. Like when I did competitions in Brazil, Chile, a lot of the creative grooming for competition, on my mind, wasn't very practical to walk around on the streets, right? I couldn't imagine a client having it because without the hairspray, without the accessories, it didn't really look like anything. And when I went to Pitch Perfect in 2020, I had all these challenges thrown at me about creative dog grooming with themes. And I thought, you know what? Ultimately, at the end of this result, I want these dogs to look good. As they were walking around, sleeping, waking up. So that's when, to clients, I do something that is practical, right? For example, the giraffe, it's a four-body. It's a four-blade on the body, a mohawk, hooves. That's pretty much it. And I added tassels from the Bedlington Terrier. And the whole wow effect, it's from the print. But the client can go home, and if it's one of those clients that don't brush your dog all the time, the dog still looks nice for a very long time. And I feel like that's what we need to keep in mind when we're creating something creative for a customer. Because the customer is not a professional. They're not going to put hairspray at home. They're not going to keep tying bows. They're not going to put googly eyes on their dog. Okay. They want to have something practical. And I think this is what it's the ultimate importance when you're creating something for the client. Think about how that's going to be when they leave your shop. Okay? Can we have the next slide, please? Oh, my baby. The person that did the Tigger that is here in the event, iconic, looks just as good as my dog with better eyebrows. Okay, can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so one of the most important things when you're creating a character, which that's how I think when I'm creating a new design that I want people to remember, is that the characters are made by color proportion, color scheme, silhouette, right? For example, do you guys know who these characters are? Yes. Right? We have, who's that Pokemon? Who's this? Duh. Who's this? And think about it for a second. Isn't it crazy that you know all these characters without seeing any color, seeing their eyes, seeing what they're wearing, without seeing anything? You look at their silhouette, and you understand what they are. So when you're creating a new haircut, if you see a silhouette of a bichon frisé, you know it's a bichon frisé. If you see a silhouette of a poodle, you know it's a poodle. So if you're creating something new, that's something that you need to think about, okay? A giraffe, for example, when I created a giraffe haircut, a lot of people have done giraffes before, right? I wasn't the first person that put a giraffe print on a dog, but if I was going to follow like the step-by-step of what a giraffe looks like, I would have shaven the face. I would have not left tassels on the ears because a giraffe doesn't have hair on their ears. Their ears are up, right? But what makes the haircuts memorable and to be so unique is also their silhouette. And that's why the bichon frisé haircut is so unique. That's why the Miami trim from Poodle with the pom-poms are so unique, because you can tell what they are without even seeing what color or how they look like, because their silhouette alone stands out. Pokemon is a very unique, and the reason I love it so much, first, because I'm a big Pokemon fan, is because they have 150 characters on the first season, and you could identify all of them without seeing any color or anything. So when you talk about character design, when you're making something new, silhouette is essential. And then can we go to the next slide, please? Another thing that is really essential when you're trying to translate one design into a dog is the color proportions. Usually, every single character, everything that is successful, has the balance between medium, dark, and light colors. A dog doesn't have a cat face, right? If you're gonna do a tiger and a Maltese, it's a completely different species, right? How do you translate something that is so unique, so iconic, as the tiger is by itself, into a dog? It's because you need to respect the color balance, right? Where the medium tones is, which is the brown, where the light tones are, which is the white, where the dark tones are, which is the black. Now, when you take something away, for example, I'm taking the feline aspect of it away when I put it on a German Shepherd, right? It's not a cat, it's a dog. When I take it away, if you notice these two German Shepherds, this face, it's a lot more simplified than this one. But on the street, a lot of people will look at this one and be like, oh my God, that's a zebra. And I worked really hard to make it look like a tiger. But why? It's because the most that I take it away from the cat, I took the face of the cat away. I took the silhouette of the cat away. I don't have the tail touching the floor. And then I put not only the 3 colors, but only 2 colors. The first reaction of people is, it's a zebra. That means my intention, although for me, it still looks like a good tiger print. But if people doesn't recognize it right away, it's because it means I wasn't fully successful. I should have added the medium tone, even if it's simplified. Look, there's only a few stripes in the face. That helps to translate what a tiger is. Now, how do I change that? Let's suppose, okay, Gabriel, I don't want to do a regular tiger. I want to do like a purple tiger, a pink tiger. The pink, the blue, the yellow would substitute your medium tone. It would still look like a pink tiger, even if I did it on a dog. Does that make sense? You got the importance of respecting where your inspiration source and identifying what is important. What does this character need to look like a tiger? You know, what does this dog need to look like a tiger? What is it enough and what is it too much? Taking the medium tone away, for me, it was too much. Okay, so can we go to the next slide? All right. Okay, guys, I have to say my Powerpuff Girls video was iconic. It was an accident. Okay, so a character essence, right? How much can you take it away from 3 girls and translate them to the dog, right? They're not, first, my dogs are not human. They don't have a pink skin tone. But I feel like this is the most perfect example how silhouette and color proportions translate very well into anything. On the slide of the Powerpuff Girls, you see them over there, you see them over here, right? The silhouette, and they're as they are. When I take away Bubbles' hair, Blossom's hair, and Buttercup's hair, do they still look like them? Yes? No? Yes? Do you think, so if you're seeing them like this, you're like, oh yeah, it's the Powerpuff Girls. You know, it's yes and no. You like, here you can kind of tell because the color proportions are still there, and you know the character, right? But if you didn't know them, you would think that they're, I don't know, maybe selling toothpaste or something. All right? And on the silhouette, it's completely gone. They're just 3 little dolls. And then when you take their color scheme away, it's not them anymore. But then when you translate all of this to the dog, although I cannot make a silhouette of a girl, and I cannot have, it's a different species, right? It's a dog. But I made sure to add the hair for Bubbles, the big bow for Blossom, and the swoop out for Buttercup. And adding the color scheme made it translate into the dog. Especially all of them look standing next to each other, okay? So all of those things are important to consider when you guys are creating something new, because when the client comes to you, they have no idea of all of those things. They're just like, oh, can you make my Fluffy into giraffe? Can you make Fluffy into, no, just something fun, made up something. But there is a thought process to create something like this, right? So here's an example of silhouette and color proportion. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, now, how do we address this with the customer? How do you manage their expectations? Because you don't want to book a grooming appointment. Someone calls the shop and is like, oh, hi, I have Fluffy. I want to make him into a tiger. And like, oh my God, perfect. Come in at 2 p.m. Boom, right? That is the best way to have the worst client experience. And the reason for it is because you need to make sure you have enough information. A, can the dog tolerate this process? Is the dog a dog that likes haircuts to start with? Because if the dog is a bitch, you guys like that. The dog, you don't even want you to do anything like this. You're gonna be stressed, the dog's not gonna like it, it's not gonna look good, you know? So there's questions that are essential. You need to ask, is your dog used to getting groomed first? Does your dog likes the process? Oh yeah, it's very nice. Maybe if the person lives nearby, can they come in for a bath one time before so I can meet your dog before we book something like this? Because it is a big process, you know? Like, you need to be confident that you can do that. 2, are you aware that I can't take it off if you don't like it? Like, are you sure you want to do it, right? And what color is your dog? What size? What is your budget? Because the last thing you want is to do the haircut and feel like, I don't know how much should I charge for this. I don't know if she's going to be mad if I charge so much. You guys need to have those expectations set up front. The color vibrancy, everything needs to set up front. So the client needs to understand when they come in what they're going to get when they come back. What I never accept in my shop is when person come in and like, oh, just do whatever you want. That never works. What they're saying is, do whatever you want, but do something that I will like. And nobody here is a mind reader. If there is one, I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's not going to work. So I had a client that came in, and she said, do whatever you want. And I wasn't there. One of my groomers just gave the dog an orange mohawk. She called and said, my dog looks like Chucky. And I like any color but orange. I didn't think we were going to choose orange. And that's just one of the things that can happen. So creative grooming has to be planned. When I book these clients, it's almost like a tattoo appointment. They come in, I have a creative grooming form where I explain what it says, what kind of dyes I'm using, how long I predict is going to last, which is also a guesstimate. You know, a pit bull might last 2 months. Poodle, Maltese, Yorkies, hair that have a continuous hair growth might last 3 to 4 months. Frenchie, if they're not shedding, might last up to 6 months. I've seen dogs like a Pomeranian to have like hints of color a year after. Okay, so you need to make sure that you understand the type of coat that you're working with, Because once you apply the color, you realize the Pomeranians, they don't shed at the same time the face, the back, and the tail. The colors come out in different, in different speed. So the client needs to understand that. They need to understand that what they're doing is a bit of a commitment. Is it maybe a 3-month commitment if they have a Poodle, Yorkie, Doodle, which is the ones that I like to book the most. But if they have a dog that have seasonal hair growth, like a Samoyed or Husky or Pomeranian, that might last a little longer. So everything has to be in writing before they leave. They need to know what color they're getting before they leave. And I usually draw, see here, I do like a little doodle in front of them. Or you can do it before they arrive and be like, hey, look, these are my ideas. And they like approve, they sign, then we're good to go. Because you don't want the client, the frustration it happens when the client calls the shop complaining about something is when their expectation and what happened weren't met, right? So if you set up the expectations from the beginning, I'm repeating myself now, but what color they're gonna get, where they're gonna get it, what we're gonna do, you approve of this, then we're good to go. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so thinking about it, right? When you're making a new design and creating these new characters, I like to think about how am I going to extract the essence of something that not necessarily has to be something that is exactly how the character is. For example, this butterfly. I wanted to do a dog that looked like a bug. This was for an ad for Adobe Photoshop, and they were like, oh, we would like you to extract the essence of something and translate it into a dog, but don't make it obvious, just have fun. So on this case, the dog doesn't look like a butterfly. He's not a butterfly whatsoever. He doesn't have wings or anything. But I'm like, how can I extract these color proportions and put it into a dog, And then I think about it. I took a photo of my dog. I got my iPad. I draw on top of it. I'd be like, oh, this could look cool. And before I came up with this design, I was like, I want to do something that is not necessarily just cute, but that has a nice silhouette, that is memorable, that it's eye-catching. So I use inspiration from attention signs on the street, from Pokemon, a Bedlington trim on a Poodle. I made this little, quote-unquote, lantern on the tail. And I thought about it. I was like, where do I put everything before I actually do it? So here, I draw dogs from the side, from the front, from the top, to think about how I'm going to do it. And if you guys can't draw, if you guys are like, oh, I'm not good at sketching, you can just print a photo like here. Look, this is a photo that I found on the internet, and I just colored on top. Because then, if you have time to think about it, when you do it, you're going to do a better job than winging it. Like, oh my God, let me just put a stripe here, let me just put one there, put one here. Oh shoot, I didn't like that one, but everything else looks good. Once it's there, honey, it's not coming out. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay. Aww. These photos actually make me very proud. Inspiration and execution, right? How do I get a print from a giraffe? Look, giraffes don't have those fluffy hooves. They don't have that fluffy face. Honestly, my dog is cuter than a giraffe. Then the leopard, the tiger, the lion, the zebra, and the panda. And this is just to show you guys how you can, necessarily sometimes not be so literal, but once you translate the color proportions of one animal, medium, light, and dark, to the other, it turns out, And think about the silhouette. How is the silhouette of the panda? Are you trying to do something that is realistic or something that is cartoonish, right? For example, the panda, I would say, and the leopard print here, I think is a more realistic approach. I follow exactly how, right? Because I'm not God. To make the most accurate as possible so it looks kind of real. And if you look at the approach of the lion, the zebra, and the giraffe, it's something that is more cartoonish, okay? Next slide. And then here we have the Lisa Frank dog that became very popular, a marshmallow dog. It's something that is not an animal that is like, you know what, I was eating this bag of marshmallow, which is not good for you, by the way. I had a sugar crash. Yes, and then I was like, oh my God, these colors are so cute together, all twisted. And you know, I've seen spiral designs. I grew up seeing people, you know, do spiral poodles. And I was like, what if I did like a little bichon like this? So, and when you guys have these ideas, grab your phone, open the notes, and write it down. Because this excitement that you're feeling, like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this, is gonna go away because you're gonna forget. Oh, I didn't get the dog, I didn't find it. Forget. Write it down. I have a section of my notes that is just like ideas. You guys can write ideas about anything, about your marketing campaigns for the shop, how you're gonna implement new services, what are your goals for the year. Just write it down. Because sometimes when you're like lost or not feeling inspired, you can look back in those notes. Okay, next slide. And here we have some, oh look, it's the same dog on both sides. And look how dramatically different she looked like on both sides. So that's how, you know, look at the silhouette of this dog, you know, looking from the front of the head and the legs. It all is a triangle to make it look like a flame. How do I get the inspiration of my clipper and translate it into the dog? Cactus flower or Digimon. I'm such a nerd, sorry. Okay, so I think we're just the next slide. And guys, look for different inspiration sources, right? Look for if you're a little confused, look how other artists did the same thing that you were trying to do. Look how many different versions of a tiger people have done before. And when you look at them, you still think a tiger, you know? You look at Tigger, you look at Tony the Tiger, you look at Hobbs, you look at this plush toy. I don't know who that is. And you look at my dog. They all are very different versions of a tiger, but when you look at them, you recognize. This dog, this tiger over here, Tony the Tiger, only has a few stripes, right? Doesn't have like as many stripes as the real tiger has. When you look at Hobbs, he has stripes that resembles more a zebra, not an actual tiger stripe. Tigger, the same thing, has eyebrows, has like a really big chin. Look at the chin of the actual tiger. It's very short. Tigger has a really big chin. But you still identify a tiger, right? But because all the color proportions were respected, the medium, the light, and dark, okay? The next slide, please. I think we have a video. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a video that explains my dyeing process, because unfortunately, I cannot dye the dog here and wash it in front of you guys. So I had to color her prior, but I brought a video from my goldfish class showing my process. So this is how I carve. I roughly just cut some of the hair off to show, for me to know where to put the colors. Then I immediately start applying the color. The color application, I think a lot of people think that I'm very like, oh my God, let me separate every single inch and put the color. I just go for it. And I pray that it's gonna work out. It's a calculated risk. I know it's gonna work out. But, and here I'm doing a blending of a color. I'm adding blue. And it's important for you guys to know the order of the colors, right? What mixed with what? If you put green next to blue, you're gonna have like a teal in between. If you put yellow next to blue, you're gonna have green in between. If you put purple next to yellow, you're gonna have brown in between. So the person's asking for a whimsical design, and you put the yellow next to purple, and you mix it, and then it's brown. And then it's not gonna get what you want. So look at the color palette, look at the order of the rainbow. Usually that's the order that one color can blend with the next. And you can create interesting gradients. So I'm just applying one color after the other, and I'm mixing it on the hair so I can have a nice gradient, one color fading to the next. The foil, it's not for the color to develop. We don't need foil for pet dye. The foil is for to protect the dog from touching each other. You can put saran wrap also to like protect that color from like rubbing on the white part. Or I just like to put foil because it kind of like gets crunchy. I'm just used to it. But you can use saran wrap if you like, just to separate it. The other thing that is important when you're washing the hair, I wash with the extreme shampoo if you're doing the hair dye, and you should rinse it till there's no more bleeding, okay? And then afterwards, you can use conditioner. Just if the color is still bleeding, and you put conditioner, either moisturizing conditioner or the thermoactive mask, whichever, and you just let it sit, and you're like, oh, so-and-so, can you wash this dog? And I'm gonna go over there. The conditioner is gonna mix with the dye, and then it's going to stain. So you want to, if you're using conditioner, which I use in this dog, you just wanna apply it, rinse it off, and dry it, okay? Yes? The conditioner helps us seal the color, yes, because the extreme strips the hair open, and the conditioner helps us seal the color for sure. Yeah, but it's not necessary immediately right after the dye. So let's suppose if you're rinsing out a black dye, and you're like afraid because you think there might be staining, maybe on that day you can just skip the conditioner. Now, if you're rinsing out, you wash it, and the water is running clear, go ahead, use the conditioner. Other things that are important. Areas that are naturally more oily or greasy, like the ears and the tail, can have difference in vibrancy of the color. So the same color that you apply on the tail and on the ear might not be as vibrant as when you apply on the leg. Over there, I did some carving, which I'm also going to show you guys on stage. And then I'm using one tone darker than the orange, which I put some red ink to highlight all the scales that I carved on the dog, okay? Now, what are the differences when you're working with permanent dyes and color shampoo? The color shampoo, you cannot, if you're doing like stripes on top of the orange of a tiger, for example, I can do both colors at the same time when I'm doing permanent dyes. I put the black first, the darker color always first. I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes or so, especially the opals dye, it saturates, right? It gets like a very black. Then I put the orange on top, but I'm not gonna intentionally rub it onto my black areas. I just put the color on top, and I rinse in one application, all the tiger is done. Now, if you're doing color shampoo, you might have to wash a dog twice, because the color shampoo, you cannot put it on dirty hair. You need to have the hair clean. I always use the extreme shampoo by Hydra every time before I do color shampoo, because that's gonna get you that pastel tone, and color shampoos come out out of the dog faster than the dyes. Before I get the dog on stage, is there any questions about this presentation? Say, and I'll shut up forever. Oh. Okay, so for the live, she asked me if I could use the dye on cats also. Yes, you can. I'm not a cat specialist. I do dogs. But yes, you can. I've seen like lots of great work of people doing it on cats. Any other questions? Yeah?
Where did you get your creative grooming form?
I made it myself. If you guys take a photo of that, it's basically, you can just write it, a waiver, saying all the things that could go wrong, right? Can the dog move like suddenly and there's like a black spot where not supposed to be? That's on my form, like, hey, dogs can be unpredictable, so we're not responsible for a sudden move. We're gonna do our best. Because some clients might be like, bringing like a microscope and being like, look, there's a spot right there, You need to put that on there. Things to worry about, how long it might last. You might leave the area blank, so you can write it like, this is the estimate, it's not 100%, you can put it on your form, and then you can write it down how much you think it's gonna last. The vibrancy, right? Tail, ears, or different hair textures might have differences on vibrancy. For example, your client has 2 dogs. One is a Labradoodle, the other one is a Maltese. If you put the same dye, they're like, we want both pink. And then he's like, oh, this one is a little faded compared to the other. It's because they're different hairs, right? So that is also something that you should put there. And yeah, it's just to manage the expectation. And as you go, you would notice that it doesn't happen very often, that there is any issue. But if the client is dissatisfied with some color vibrancy or something, you're gonna keep adding things on your form. And that's how we built that. But it's just so, it's mostly, for me, is for them the form is a guide for my conversation. Because if you explain that to the customer that is there, that's usually enough, you know? But the form, it's formality, which means that they are aware of everything that you said, okay? All right, so can we bring Ophelia to the stage? Okay, one more question, 1 second.
Sorry, I just wanted to know what shampoo and conditioner do you recommend? Because
Extreme shampoo by Hydra every time. If you have white spots or yellowing on the hair, let's suppose you're doing yellow, a yellow color, right? You don't want to use the whitening shampoo on that day because the whitening shampoo, it's made to help with yellow stains, right? If you're doing a color that is warm, you want to prevent using, for example, the whitening shampoo. But the odor neutralizing is great. The extreme is great for the day of the dye, okay? And the conditioner I like to use, depends on the type of hair, but that's just like with every dog that we do, the volumizing mask, the intense repair silky smooth mask, and the thermoactive mask is also amazing, okay? All right, let's bring Ophelia. Come on in, come. Come here, baby. She's a little scared cat. Oh! Okay, there we go. By the way, I love these tables. Thank you, Wags, for bringing these tables for the Mega Grooming Show. This is what I use on my shop also. They are literally the best. Guys, I didn't know that when you become 30, your back start hurting. I was like, why is everything hurt so much? There we go. So I already trimmed a little bit of the other side. I wanted to show you guys some carving. And with this case, to get this pink hue on her, I use the color shampoo. I did give her 2 washes. First, in a day, I give her a wash with the extreme shampoo to clean up the hair. Then I blow dry the hair, force dry it a little bit to get it a little damp. Not full 100% dry. If you want it to dry 100%, it's okay too, but it doesn't really matter. Just so it's not drenched in water, but it's clean, okay? Then I apply the color shampoo as if it was a dye. So I put it on a brush, and I apply the color shampoo, all the pink, in all the areas that I wanted, okay, over here. Then I let it sit for about 15 minutes. I rinsed it, dried, and then I did the black after. If you want it, what would be another way that you could do it to prevent spending time on this? You could do the black, all the black lines on where you needed to put, wash, rinse, then apply the pink shampoo, and then rinse. So that would be just 2 baths, not 3. And with this design, I wanted to do, her hair was a bit damaged because she was matted prior to this. So I trim, all of this here short. And again, I like to play with the silhouette of the dog, right? So I could have just used like a 5/8 or a 1 inch on her body and just made like a tiger like Tigger, right? Like round all over. But I like to create and play with silhouettes. So I made this shorter, and then I created like a bell bottom on the hocks, same thing on the legs, and then I added these wings that I'm gonna carve for you guys. I added the tip of the tail. I could have shaven everything. I could have left the whole tail. And that's when decision-making is so important when you're deciding what to do, And that's, the decision-making is what changed all these characters that you saw, The Pikachu is worth $1 billion. Hello Kitty is worth $1 billion. Mickey is worth, well, not anymore. He was, just kidding. Now it's becoming public property. But all these characters are so iconic because there was a lot of decision-making behind it. Sometimes you're like, oh, he has like a tail that looks like a boat. Easy. Well, then why don't you do it? You know what I mean? So we cannot underestimate how much thinking it was behind all these characters. And I'm not saying that we need to go to the same extent in every haircut, but if we think about it, that's going to make us go further. I think this way about my business and I tell my employees every time. If you come to your shop every day and you improve every day 1%, in 100 days, you have improved 100%. Isn't it crazy if you think about it? If you get there one day and you're like, you know what? This door here is a little stained. People are like grabbing the door handle, opening back and forth, kicking it, right? And then it's like all kind of gross. Let me just paint this today. Tomorrow, let me just put a frame on this wall. And the next day, let me just review my client form. Maybe I'm gonna change the wording a little bit and make it a little prettier. Let me print on a better paper. In 100 days, your business has changed. And people are not gonna see it, what you do. They're not gonna be like, oh my God, so-and-so, I love that you painted that door. Yeah, it was really gross. They're not gonna be like, oh my God, I love that you changed this form. But when they walk in, the experience that they have are gonna start being completely different. And completely, I mean 100% different. Come here, baby, this way a little bit. So every day, when I'm thinking about creative grooming, I think about something, you know? How can I change the silhouette? How can I improve the finishing? How can I improve the preparation? Well, with Hydra products, of course. How can I improve the training of my staff? And that's why you need to allow yourself to experiment, you know? Because you're not gonna make the right decisions every time. Just like I didn't make the right decision on the tiger that I did on the German Shepherd. And I'm also not perfect, you know? I do a lot of mistakes, and I keep doing them. But I've learned to accept them with open arms because I know that I learn a lot more from my mistakes than when I do things right. When I do this dog right, what did I learn? Nothing. I just learned that I'm amazing. And humble. It's okay, baby. It's okay. I know it's a lot of people. So, just kidding. But it is true, you know? So, when the client complains on your salon, and I'm deviating about the topic for a second, but I think this is important. When the client leaves a bad review, when people are mad about something, usually our first instinct is be like, fuck, you know? She's such a bitch. And sometimes they are just a bitch. But sometimes you need to think about it. Does the bitch have a point? You know what I mean? Because sometimes they do, you know? And if they do, or even if they don't, how do you prevent the next bitch from getting mad? Because they're coming. You cannot. You know? So think about that. So when you have a problem with a customer, try to create preventive measures for that problem not to happen. Stop hoping that it's not going to happen because it will happen again. Okay? And I was in Atlanta one time. Let me start trimming this dog while I talk because I was in Atlanta one time for a grooming show. And on my shop, I was a dog groomer my entire life, you know, but I was not an entrepreneur right away. I had to learn the hard way. And we had so many complaints that weekend on my shop. And I remember being so frustrated, and my boyfriend told me, he said, you know, Gabriel, I don't know if you want to hear this right now, but it's your fault. I was like, how? How it's my fault? I'm not even there. You're not doing the right thing. And he's like, they're not doing the right thing because you didn't tell them how to do the right thing. And you didn't create enough barriers that prevent them from doing the wrong thing. So that really stuck with me, you know, because how do we take responsibility for something that is not even our fault? You know, how do we take responsibility for a client that is just so annoying? You know what I mean? We create preventative measures from them being annoying. And that's how we do it. Okay, so about the haircut. Here, I'm just gonna I'm combing. Today I use the Extreme Shampoo and the volumizing mask to prepare her coat. I'm combing the hair out. And I'm going to use these chunkers from Gabe, which I got yesterday. They're amazing, by the way. Just to shape this hair. And I'm gonna lift a little bit the back here of the hawk. I love doing this with most of my clients because I don't want my clients to come next time full of sticks. And those are the kind of things that the client doesn't know exactly why your haircut is better, but they know that the dogs stay cleaner for a longer time. So I'm lifting the foot away from the table pretty much. Like that. Like that. And guys, also, when you're like making your business, creating your business, managing, of course, the money is always the end goal, right? Everybody wants their business to do well, to flourish, for you to get more customers and everything. But we also need to think about the challenge, you know? How can we do things better than our competitors, and how can we do it better than ourselves? When I stopped grooming every day, I had trouble at first maintaining my customers that used to come to me only. And they're like, I'm coming to the salon, I only want Gabriel to do my dog. But there was a time that I couldn't groom every dog anymore. And I definitely cannot right now. How did I keep my business from failing, you know? Because I had other people, I was charging more, I had to raise my prices because I had more expenses. I hire employees, I renovated the shop, I have like a much bigger space than I needed just for myself, and I needed to make sure that money was coming. How did I transform, you know, my business at that time? Is what I thought, I need to change my customer experience regardless of what the groomer is doing with their hands. Yes, I also need to train my staff, obviously, and I need to make sure it's good quality haircuts. But haircuts can change with your mood. I think we talked about it this weekend with the other speakers also. If you're not feeling good, not only the dog notices, but the haircuts look like shit, right? Sometimes. So if you have 5 groomers working for you, how do you control that every single one of them are going to be at their best every day? That's impossible. It will be unrealistic. So you're going to have days where maybe the client's not going to like one haircut. But what is going to keep them from coming back or going to another place? You know what I mean? So on my shop, I thought, how can I improve the customer experience from the moment they walk in? When you walk into a place, you know how much it costs in like 3 seconds, 2 seconds? If you're like walking a hair salon, you're like, oh, this is going to be $20, or oh, this might be $200, you know? It's the feel of the place. How does it feel? Is that a bunch of dogs barking? Is that a lot of urine smell? You walk in and it smells like wet dog, and you're screaming over the dryers to talk to your customers, oh, I'll be right there, you know? And then that is the kind of thing that it's normal, you know, in the grooming salon. But how do we improve that? How do we make the clients walk into your shop and feel something different? You know, in Brazil, I feel like many years ago, it used to be like this. The groomings were in the back of the shop. And after Hydra showed up, and I have to give some props to the brand, they elevated groomers as artists, and all of it started changing. Now you go to Brazil, the grooming salons there are really fancy. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. And dogs there are conditioned to come every week. But they think about the aesthetic of the place, how clean it is. Sometimes there's people that are paid just to clean the shop. They enter that on the budget and on the cost of the grooming, you know. It just looks nice. And that, when the customer walks in and they have like a good experience on the check-in, maybe while they're waiting, let's suppose Karen come earlier to pick up her dog without you calling her. And she's like, oh my God, it's gonna be so long, I'm gonna have to wait. Maybe if she has a place to sit down, maybe she has sparkling water, it's gonna get her off guard. You know, she's gonna be like, sparkling water for me? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna sit down over there. She's gonna be a lot more patient than if she's standing like this on the heat, listening to your dryers and the other dogs barking. You know? So the customer experience and how you improve your business can set you apart from the competition beyond just the haircut. We're all here learning how to improve our haircuts, but how do we improve our business overall? How improve the mood? Does it look nice? Does it smell nice? Does it sound nice? You know? And think about your website. Is it easy to navigate through? All of those things are important, and I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind. So, not only you're gonna go back home with some new techniques from creative grooming, and hopefully you guys can, charge more, had a really good time in Mega Grooming Show, but also think about how to set yourself apart even further from your competitors. Because by the fact that you guys are here, you're already setting yourself apart.
Gabe.
Yes?
I have a question here.
Yes?
Hi, Gabriel. My question is about the color shampoo.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times when I apply and I rinse it off, I have done it with clean coat and I dry and everything, but the color comes off completely. So now what I do, I apply a little bit of permanent dye in the shampoo and I mix it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you recommend about that?
Yeah, you can do that. When I do color shampoo, usually like this one is very faint, and I put the strongest one, which is the coral red, and it still is a faint pink.
Exactly.
I need to be aware that the shampoo is not going to be very vibrant, and the client needs to know that it's going to be very soft. That is one thing that you can do, and why you brought it up is that you can mix a little bit of the permanent dye on the shampoo also. But that is also going to change how long the product is going to last on the coat, right? Because the shampoo comes out with washes. If the client is not ready to commit and you use the color shampoo and you wash the dog 10, 15 times, it pretty much comes off, right? But once you mix the dye, it's also going to last longer. So you can use the dye and the shampoo to create a pastel shade like this, but that is also mean that the permanency, right, is going to be more on the hair. Okay. So then I'm just here shaping this feet. I'm going to do the same with the other feet. And also, you guys, social media right now, if you're trying to improve your business, who left this mat on this dog? It was me. Who's gonna get fired? Me. Social media is a big game changer also for your business, I know everybody sometimes gets intimidated of going on social media, but that's how I started my socials. I didn't start my socials thinking that I was gonna get 1 million followers, which, by the way, I just got 1 million followers. Thank you. I didn't think that was gonna happen at all. I started because somebody offered me a business. I had no money. You notice what is a very interesting fact? When I moved to the US, I knew no one. Who let me borrow the money to open my business was Marty from Pet Society. And she barely knew me. And I started, and I was like, you know what? I just need to make this happen. Sometimes when you're making a business decision, it's always scary. You don't know if things are going to come. You don't know if the clients are going to show up. But sometimes you just need to jump out of the cliff and build the plane as you go. And you find a way to make that happen before you hit the floor. And that's what I did. My business became very successful, thank goodness. But I created my social media because I didn't have money to pay for Google or Yelp. I was like, I need to advertise it somehow. So how did I do? Instead of just posting a picture of a Schnauzer, I will put Schnauzer and I will put the hashtags like Schnauzer San Diego Park, Schnauzer San Diego Dog Beach. And I would try to find those groups of people that were around me to come to my salon. And I also realized that one of the strongest things about social media is that you can actually create a community and choose what you want to do. Some people are like, oh my God, Gabriel, how you have so many freaking palms on your shop? It's because we post palms a lot. How do you get so many Westies? There was a time that I had so many Westies. It was like 3, 4 a day. Because I started posting about them a lot. and people will find you. When you did your first haircut, people didn't pay you immediately. They weren't like, oh my God, let me just give you $100 to do this dog that I don't know if you're gonna do it, you know? You had to do a lot of dogs for free. Some of you guys that went to school, you had to pay to groom those dogs. So you could learn to groom them. Then you could build a portfolio to prove people that you can do. I don't live in the creative grooming capital city of the world. San Diego is not like pink dogs walking around everywhere. People fly there, which is insane, by the way. I think it's crazy. But I realize that when you create a demand, when you show what you can do, you create a portfolio, people will come to you. So, Gabriel, my passion is to groom Bichons Frisés. Groom the Bichons Frisés, do your best, take nice photos, make videos the best as you can, and post them, because more will come. You can tweak your business to specialize on anything you want, and I'm the living proof of this. Like, I came from Brazil with nothing, and I have a business now that people fly to get their dogs dyed. And I didn't even consider myself a creative grooming to start with. So you guys really can take your business in any direction, but without portfolio, without showing that that's what you want to do, people don't know that. People don't know that you can do it, you know? So just promote your work, post the dogs that you really like, the breeds that you want more to do, and they will find you. Also, it really specializes on them, you know? It's not because you just want to groom them, but like, go do courses, become the best as you can on that breed, learn to talk about them with confidence and knowledge, and they will find you.
Question.
Yes?
You said you used the colored shampoo for the pink area, even though it was a red shampoo, it came out pink. Then did you go back with permanent dye to do the black?
Yes, that's what I did. On this case, usually, and the reason, you can say, yeah, you can hold it. The reason, what I would do usually, okay, full transparency, when I came here, I was looking for another box of black dye because I didn't have enough when I came. So I didn't have the black dye earlier on the day, so I just did the pink first. But on my salon, to speed up the process, we would do the black stripes first, rinse it off, so the color shampoo would mix with the dye, because the color shampoo is still shampoo, there's soap in it, right? Wouldn't mix with the black dye, so we will rinse it off in the shop. Then, first dry it, just so it's like not fully dry, but still a little damp. I will apply the color shampoo with the clean hair, and then I will rinse it off. So this shade of pink right here is the coral red, and now they're changing the name to fuchsia. But you guys notice how still it's very faint. It's not like a strong color, right? And all the brands of dyes, they have different shades. There are some brands that have the pastel colors that you can just use it as a permanent dye if you like.
And how long does the permanent dye last on an average and the shampoo dye?
The permanent dye doesn't really come off. Usually the hair fades or sheds before the product comes off. Now the wash, they say 40 washes, but let's be honest, by the time that the dog has 40 washes, you already trimmed it again, right? So it's not really the wash, it's the haircut. Now the color, the color shampoo, in 10, 15 washes, you see it pretty much going away. There was a question here?
So like you said earlier on the palm where the color lasts like a year just because of the hair type, and you have a client that's like, I want this off.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Because look, imagine the dogs that have the problem with the hair growth, right? Pomeranians, it's a breed that they have a lot of discrepancies of types of hair. You've seen dogs that look like a fox, that has like looks like a chicken, right? The long nose and like no hair. It's okay, baby, it's okay. It has a very long nose and no hair. And some dogs, they have a lot of hair. Some dogs, you touch the hair, is very dry. So all of these three types of hair are gonna grow differently. And you can't really predict if the hair of the muzzle and like here, where it's shorter, and the mane and the tail, which have all different textures, are gonna fade and come out in the different times. Because what these dogs, how it happens is, have you guys heard of seasonal shedding, right? Every 6 months or so, they have the replacement of the coat. And it doesn't grow infinitely like a poodle. The poodle, if you just let the hair grow, it just keeps growing. A Pomeranian, it grows to a certain length, and then it stops. It stays dormant for 5, 6 months or so. And when it comes winter, or when it comes fall or spring, usually, they start shedding, and then a new hair comes. So you can't really speed up that process. It's what it is. Some dogs that have the problem with alopecia or the hair growth doesn't even grow that much. So if you dye a dog that already has like a tough hair, you might have it for a very long time, and that's what happened with that 1 year thing.
If there's no way like to get the color out, like the client's asking, you just have to tell them it has to fade naturally. Like
What?
it just takes time for the hair color to come out. Like there's no way to just, like if a client came to you and was like, I don't want my dog to be colored and I don't want to wait for it.
Yeah, that's why we need to set up the expectations from the beginning. You're like, bitch, you signed this. We talked about it, remember? Here's the proof. Sorry. But yeah, you're like, come on. Like, don't act like we didn't talk about this. But usually, guys, that was the only case that I saw a collar stay on for a year, and it wasn't like on the whole dog. It was like there was some hair. You could see like very faint, like there was like some color on the head. But it can happen, you know. Like it's not something that it can't happen. It can happen.
Hi, Gabriel. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So we work at a pretty high volume salon where we see quite a few dogs a day.
How many? How many
Like
dogs?
7 to 8 each for 2 people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we're trying to get more into creative grooming, and eventually we want to kind of transition to mostly doing creative grooming if it's possible. Do you exclusively do creative grooming at your salon?
No, I think as we are right now, and this year that we live, I think it's harder to have a salon that do only creative grooming right now, because you kind of need the bulk of the clients, right? But our salon, the creative grooming that we do is about, I'd say right now, 20 to 30% of our clientele, which is pretty good, it's pretty big. Like a lot of our clients get at least like the ears, the tail, something, you know? A lot of our clients have that. But you can eventually. I think this is going to keep growing and growing. You know, a lot of people been requesting dye jobs in any sort of way. And you're definitely not going to be able to do that many dogs, you know? In my salon, the reason we can do 2 to 3 full creative like this a day is because I have help. I don't do every single thing myself. Sometimes I am putting the black and somebody's already going with the orange after me. And then I have 2 people now that I train that they can help me do the stripes because they know how I want the stripes. I'm like, if this looks like Google Maps when you're done, because it can look, you know, if you don't pay attention on the references. Oh, another thing. If you guys are going to do a tiger, a zebra, whatever, print a photo or have an iPad and look at the stripes, okay? No matter how many times you have done this, always look at your references. When you guys see paintings from Norman Rockwell, from Picasso, from all these painters, they're incredibly famous. They don't just wing it. A lot of times they're looking at something. Picasso did all those distorted faces, and he was looking at a woman, a real person, as he was creating that. Norman Rockwell, he was known from his process because he photographed people doing those poses, those expressions, and that's why his paintings are so alive. So if you guys are wanting to make a tiger, look at a photo of a tiger. If you guys want to make Tigger, look at a Tigger photo. So you can see how the artist did everything. So because your stripes on the hair, it's not going to look like the same. It might be close, but it's not going to look exactly the same. So always look at references when you're doing it, and then have people help you. So that way you can do it faster. We charge about, a design like this on my shop will cost about $1,400. I know. Period. But And I usually would do one big dog and two small dogs on a day. And it's good money, but we can't do it. That takes two people and a third helping us wash while I'm doing the next one. Somebody's helping me pre-shave. I'm like, hey, we're gonna do wings, and I just mark where it is. You just shave the rest, lift this. And we make it as a team. Otherwise, and that's why we can do it in like 2 to 3 hours, because it's a lot to do it alone. Yeah.
Did you have a conversation with some of your clients as you got more creative grooms to kind of have to cut down the bulk you were doing?
The what? The bulk?
Yeah, well, kind of like with clients, we have quite a few, and we're eventually trying to do more quality versus quantity, and having to maybe potentially like let clients go or phase them out because we can't handle the volume.
Oh, you just want to like fire them?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, hey, you gotta go.
Politely.
Yes. Well, are you asking me how to do that?
Yeah, like did
How
you
to
have
fire
to?
them?
Yeah, as you did more creative, did you kind of have to let people go so you could concentrate more on that?
You can just not book. How do you book? Do you book it like for the year? And
Yeah,
then, you're
or-
having to cancel their appointments.
Yeah, we have a lot of returning regulars, but we won't be able to handle all those customers as we get more new customers that are getting creative.
Well, I usually, when I want to let a client go, it depends, right? If you're asking me about if you're feeling bad about letting people go,
Yeah.
you can just have, there's two ways. You can either say, hey, unfortunately, we are changing the way we're operating your business, and we have to reduce your clientele, and we won't have that many spots available. So unfortunately, I think we have to go part ways. That wording. It's not you, it's me. And then they would understand. Or what you can do is you can just say that you don't have any spots available. It's not giving them a cold shoulder, but it's a bit of how it happens in my shop. I'm like, I don't have time.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so talk about this carving real quick. So now I'm shaping the outline. And you guys, remember about the silhouette? So I want to be able to, I kind of wanted to be able to tell that this dog has wings from different views, right? Different points of view. So if I'm looking at 3/4, I want to see that it has wings, looking from the front, looking from the top. So when I made this dog, I made the wings like this, and they're peeking out of the dog's top line. See? Dog's top line is here, and they surpass it, the top line. I also made this, I added these poofs on the hair, right here, just to also create, another silhouette that is different. So right now, when I'm shaping this, I'm aiming my scissor up. Let me get some of the spray.
Hey, Gabe.
Yes?
How do you gauge your pricing on your different dye jobs?
So what?
How do you gauge your pricing for
Pricing?
different jobs?
Okay, for
Because
example.
you have like 4 people, you say, on one dog or 2 dogs, So how do you gauge that when you have multiple people
You need to
helping
consider
you?
the time to gauge the pricing. Because, for example, every dye job that you add, let's suppose you're only doing the ears and the tail, that's already an extra 40 minutes. You could be getting another bath and finish from the start to the end just with the time that you're applying that dye and rinsing, right? And if you have a shop, how much does that cost you per person, the person that is doing, or if it's you that is doing? Because you can't just, it's not charity, right? You have to charge. So I usually gauge when I do creative grooming is me and 1 or 2 assistants that I'm doing a project as big as this. And the product is actually not that expensive, but you need to make the profit. So I would think about how much time are you taking and how would that prevent you from just booking a Yorkie and getting it done in an hour and a half. I suppose if you charge 125 for a Yorkie, and you're gonna do a dye job and you're gonna take you another extra hour and a half, you need to charge the same price as the Yorkie at least, okay? And also consider the demand. Are you having like a lot of demand for creative dogs? Then maybe you can charge even more, you know? Maybe do you prefer doing creative dogs, you know? I think that's how I would think about the pricing. Does that help? Yeah.
Gabe,
Yes?
we have one question here. Melanie Torres asked, it's a black color that is not permanent?
Is a what?
The black color.
This color is permanent.
Permanent.
Yeah, the black color that is not, if they're, the only black color that is not permanent, you're gonna find it on chalks or like the spray from airbrushing. But the problem with that color is that it comes off on your hands and on clothes and on furniture. This black color is permanent. By permanent, to clarify anyone that is watching this live, the hair is not gonna grow black. Because I get asked this all the time on social media. They're like, oh my God, the dog is like that forever. I'm like, no, it's like this while it's growing. Then the hair goes back to normal. Okay.
Gabriel,
Yes?
how do you handle booking in your salon? Do you allow online booking for your clients, or do they call, or do they pre-book for like several months to a year? How do you handle that?
We allow them to call, and we also allow them to request the appointment online. We use Groomer.io right now, so they can request the appointment to reduce the phone calls, and then we see if the appointment is available or not. And then a lot of times we call them to make sure that they understand that, hey, we don't have that time available, or we do have that time available. And we always encourage them to pre-book before they leave, because you do want to create that community of people, right? You want to make sure that your clients, when they come, they can, that you can maintain them. There is a realistic expectation of how long their hair is going to be, how much mats you're willing to take. And I'm encouraging all of you to book your clients, develop your community, and make them book more baths. Because I feel like in the US, people don't bathe their dogs often enough on the grooming salon. In Brazil, it's people come every week to the shop, and they do deep conditionings, they do all these treatments for the hair, but it's the culture that Brazil has of the care for dogs. And I think here we should aim towards the same, having our customers come more often, so we don't have to demand or deal with bad dogs so much, because they will get used to you, you know? Does that answer? Yeah, right? Yes, no? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
How do you recommend, like if clients come in and they have already a color on the fur, and then they want a different color next time, like how do you manage like buildup or like the transition of the color?
That's a good question, thank you. It's, again, you need to understand the order of the colors, right? Let's suppose your client was yellow, and they want to do green next, easy. You put the green on top, it's going to be green. Your dog is green, the client wants to do blue next, you put the blue on top, you're gonna have a teal, right? They want to have a purple. If it's a bright blue, it's not a teal, it's blue. You put purple on top, it's going to be purple. So you need to understand what colors are going to come after and how they will look like when they blend, because the color for dogs, they work as a layer. So if you put like a soft pink like this color shampoo, on a brown dog, it's not going to look like this. It's going to look, you're going to see the brown and you're going to see the pink. So, but now, if you put like a dark purple on the brown, you're gonna see dark purple, because it works as a layer. You need to have a color that is stronger enough to, quote unquote, dominate the other, right? Otherwise, you see the other one under. Or maybe that's what you want. So if the client comes in with a previous dye job, let's suppose they have stripes left over, and they want to do a dog that has 0 stripes. If you cannot cut the hair off, it's gonna be there. You know, and the client needs to understand that you can't really just take it off. Because honestly, lifting the collar not always works. Okay, just real quick, I'm just gonna show you guys some of this carving. before we move on to the next questions. So we can be on time. How much more time do I have? 30? Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna carve the wings. I can do it with my chunker or the straights. The straights or curves, whichever. How I do it is I put the scissor, let me see how I do the other side. Okay. I'll put the scissor here on the hair, and this is like drawing with a pen, not with a pencil. And by that, I mean you need to have a confident cut. So sometimes I can imagine how it's gonna be by tracing the hair like this. Oh, I'm gonna do a line right around here to separate this wing, right? And what style of wing you're gonna do? Are you gonna do a cartoon wing? Sometimes I do the little swirl here. That looks like for card captors. Am I gonna do, this wing was inspired by an owl. So I was oh, I'm gonna do something that is more mythical, that has more noise. But then you can trace more or less where it is, and then you can come and boom, boom. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to take some of this volume off. By the way, guys, I love the scissors. Thank you, Yoi from Gabe, because they're bomb. They take good hair off, and they don't leave marks. Now I'm going to put the scissor on the coat, and I'm going to make that line a little deeper. A little deeper, like that. Now I'm going to make another line, which is from here. Make sure it's symmetrical. Okay. Like this. So how I do it is I put my scissor on the hair and I incline it this way, okay? Or you can incline it the other way. If you decide that you want to do some carving with the clipper, like Michelle did, I would recommend you. Oh? Hello? Okay. When you, I was like, am I hearing voices? If you decide to do that carving with the clipper, consider if you want to add the line of the skin in your design, because that could be also a good thing. If you want to the dog has a very, suppose I want to do a brown line on the design and the dog is a very dark brown skin, that could also look cool, So it all depends of what is your goal at the very end. Oh my God, you guys, that party last night was so fun. I ripped my pants. It was so fun that I went down and I ripped my pants. Marley was like, go dance, go dance. I was like, okay. And she was like, well, I didn't think you were going to go like that. I was like, well, be careful what you wish for. Yes, it was so much fun. I loved how you reminded me that I ripped my pants. You ripped your pants. I was hoping no one saw it. Literally everybody saw it. The floor was a mirror. Someone was like, I recorded it. Oh my God. It's on record forever. You know what? That's just like a battle scar, you know? It means that it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. I'm honestly, now just want to take a second to say how grateful I am that you guys are all here. I'm genuinely overwhelmed with how much love I got this weekend. And I appreciate every single thing that you guys told me, because there are days for everyone that we forget how much we have, how lucky we are. I forget sometimes, how hard it was, how much I wanted to be on the stage of Mega Grooming Show in Brazil or everywhere. And it is very, truly incredible to come to an event with so many like-minded people. They are all here to have a good time. They came from so far. And like yesterday, like seeing everybody bonding, it was really nice, because there was a time that this industry was actually harsh sometimes. People wouldn't really talk to you, and seeing everybody having so much fun, it made me remember why I love Mega Grooming Show so much. Every single time that I go, it's like this, and I think it comes from, and I'm saying this really, truly, as you saw, all the staff on the stage, everybody works for a common purpose, and I think it's truly special, so thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, so now I made the 2 spots. And now I'm gonna carve the feathers. So I'm just going to, yeah, and it's done. Thank you. Can you imagine if it was just like that? Okay, so let me just do here. Okay, so now, but yes, truly I need to know where, okay. One line. Line. No, I usually do all. Somebody asked me if I use clippers at all for carving. I usually do all with scissors. What's crazy? I actually, a lot of times, prefer working with scissors. I feel like I have more control. And I feel like it's a little more forgiving. Like, if I made a mistake or I do a line that is slightly unsure, I can reverse it more. Also, this style that I made with this noise, like these splotches on the wings, is because I wanted to carve for you guys to see. So I couldn't really dye the wings and choose the spots carefully, because I couldn't carve them prior to it. As you guys saw on the goldfish, if I was doing this on my salon, I would mark these lines before I start dyeing the dog, so I could see where I need to go back, or where am I going to put the dye. In this case, I couldn't do it because I wanted to do here with you guys. So I chose this style so it will fit this. Tell me, what's funny? Somebody was laughing. I know the joke. Okay, so there's this. Also, I would recommend, if all of you guys want to get more into creative grooming, I would strongly recommend you start drawing more, sketching more, It doesn't have to be like, Gabriel, I don't know how to draw. Nobody's gonna see it. Okay? You don't have to show anyone, I promise you. Just draw it on your own and really pay attention, to the world around you. Inspiration is everywhere. You can find inspiration by seeing a beehive, flower, a hike, a day on the park, a tree, whatever, there's everywhere. So if you want to do creative, see the inspiration and sketch. She's like, who's that? Okay. So the inspiration is truly everywhere. So see the inspiration, go back home, sketch or write down what was your thoughts, your ideas. Because this, when it comes to the dog, is pretty much the same, It's art. So now I'm gonna use some of the grooming style. And after you use hairspray, don't use your very best favorite pair of scissors because the spray can actually dull your scissors a little bit. And after you're done with the spray, wash the scissors, okay? After you're done trimming it. While I do the details here, does anybody have any questions?
Ok. Meu nome é Rita Rivero e eu vim de New Jersey só para ver você.
Ah, obrigado.
Porque eu sou veterinária e tenho uma fundação para ajudar as pessoas que têm dificuldades financeiras para ir na veterinária, na clínica, isso. E eu sei que você faz um trabalho muito bonito, filantrópico, do ESPCA. Vou falar um pouquinho em inglês agora, só para todo mundo entender. Então, eu queria que você falasse sobre a tua atuação, porque eu fiquei muito admirada quando soube que você fazia isso. Eu falei, eu tenho que ir lá conhecer esse menino. Okay. My name is Rita Rivero, and I'm a veterinarian from New Jersey, and I came here especially to see Gabriel because I know that he does a beautiful job, a philanthropic job to help the ESPCA. And what I think is that because we are so lucky to be in a field that people can afford and do a lot of things for the animals, and we're in a very good position in the world. But there's a lot of people that also should have their pets, but unfortunately they don't have enough money to take care of them.
Yes.
Without even mention the stray cats and things like that. So should us work, everybody, in our business, in our professional, to give some attention to those people, because this is going to enhance your business. Because I do beautiful things myself. Or I see a lot of clients that can afford me, but I also make sure that the clients that can afford will come from my office and will do everything for free. I'm not telling you to say, okay, I'm going to do free grooming, but I'm just enhance the situation where when you do something that you give back to the society, the people in need, they will enhance your business. Hey, she's not just only for the money and the beautiful dogs, but if there is somebody that has a dog that one that couldn't afford to do the grooming, and I see that in my office sometimes, I do under anesthesia, And the dog does go to the groomer once in a year because they can do more. And that's what I came here for. And I hope that people understand my point. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for everything that you do. And yes, in a year and a half ago, I started partnering with the San Diego Humane Society because I wouldn't be where I am today without the dogs. They gave me the stage. They allow me to travel the world. I come from poor area in São Paulo, the east side, the very east side of São Paulo. And I feel incredibly fortunate that I fell onto dogs, right? I met dogs, became very, very passionate about dog grooming. And ultimately, you know, they brought me to Hollywood. I went to a TV show. I have my own business. I was sponsored. And it's really all because of them. So I felt the responsibility to, and we all do, right? All our living, like we buy our houses, cars, everything that our trips, our grooming events, it's all because of the dogs. And I think this is something that we can't forget, to find ways to give back to what got us here. So it is true, if you guys have time, and you can, because not everybody can, of course, everybody has their lives, but if you have time, even if it's like once a year, if you want to volunteer at a shelter, or maybe bring your attention on your socials to something that you consider important, I think that's what makes humans to be where they are today, you know, because of our community and our sense of empathy towards the others. And I started working with the Humane Society. I raised over $100,000 to the Humane Society so far. Thank you. Thank you. And we used the creative grooming to bring attention to the dogs that were there for a while,
leave the door
but
open.
ultimately for the cause.
Okay, perfect.
So with the Humane Society, we can get to, yes? Oh, okay. With the Humane Society, we can find dogs new homes and remind people that, you know, all these great dogs are there, because I always tell them, I was like, if this dog was not great, I would not be able to do this type of detailed work on them. Okay, so let me just trim the face real quick. I already trimmed one side. With the expression, you guys notice here that usually, you know, every dog we mark a stop right there. I decided to take the stop away from her expression. So if you look from the side, it's like one line. Okay, that's just one way to create like a new facial expression. And then when I'm trimming here towards the eyes, and that's a Korean technique, right? Because I also did not invent this. Instead of some of the Korean haircuts, instead of doing the Asian fusion where we mark right here, we make a straight line right on the corner of the eye, like this. Straight. And then we leave this hair blending together. I left these little poofs on the top of her head. That kind of resembles ears, don't necessarily have to be ears. But no, I leave up to you guys to interpret what that is. But I like how it would make her silhouette looks like, and I feel like it makes her look different than every other dog that I've seen there. Always see where the ears are at, okay? Because this is like riding the bike. The moment that you start carrying or you don't know is when an accident happens.
Also,
Almost. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this hair off to create a shape that is more controlled, meaning I'm not letting the hair do whatever it wants. I'm controlling what I want it to do. I want it to look rounder. I know that some of the things that I said on the seminar was not necessarily what you guys in the beginning about the character design. People were like, why is he talking about Mickey Mouse and silhouettes and stuff? But these are actually what makes people remember you. They're like, oh my God, he did a tiger. Like, Jennifer did this tiger, but when somebody else does it, like her, it's gonna be like, oh, it looks like Jennifer's work, you know? Because like Wendy Warhol once said, and I think that phrase really means a lot to me, and I always think of that, is that the goal is not to live forever, but is to create something that does. Boom. You want to, you know, I feel like for me, we want to leave a mark. What we do in our careers, and I feel like since the times of the caveman, right, we have the tendency of wanting to leave a mark that will live past us. So whatever you guys are doing with your business, how you treat your employees, how you care for the people around you, your partners, if you die, everything that you did is what's gonna stay after you do. And I feel like it's always important to think of that. And I think of that when I'm working also. How am I gonna be remembered if someday I'm no longer here? Okay, so. Sorry. Now I'm just rounding her ears. Okay, you guys, I hope that after this today, you guys can go back home and actually increase your revenue with this new knowledge that you got from all of us, you know, from Jay, Michelle, me, Diana, Susie.
Yes, I got it.
And I hope you guys made new friends. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. This is my design. Thank you so much. Really.
Hey guys, how's it going? So we have time for a couple more questions for Gabriel. Does anybody in the audience have a question? Okay, looks like we have somebody over here. Can we get a mic?
Where?
What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Rena. I'm from North Dakota originally.
Can you hold the mic a little bit closer?
Sorry, my name is
No
Rena.
problem.
I'm from North Dakota originally. Gabe, I kind of talked with you yesterday, but I just wanted to triple check. So do you apply if it's a semi-permanent or a permanent on a dirty coat, or do you wash the dog first? And then do you just rinse the dye off, or do you like
Okay,
scrub
thank you.
it off?
Yeah, that's a good question. I apply the permanent or the semi-permanents on the dirty hair. Of course, if your dog came from the beach and is full of sand or it's rolling on the mud, something that is extreme, then I will wash it first. But in 90% of the times, I just apply the dye on the dirty hair. And when I wash it with shampoo. Okay, I don't just rinse it. Now, if you're doing the color shampoo, rinse it because it's already a shampoo. Okay?
Excellent. We
Do we
have a
have more
question over
questions?
here. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Anna. I'm from here in Orlando. I have a question about the shampoo as well. When applying multiple layers of colors and when you have to give multiple baths between the color applications, do you alter the shampoo conditioner routine at all?
Yeah, so after the color application, if the client wants to maintain the color as most as possible, I would use a shampoo that is not so stripping of the hair. So I would use the moisturizing shampoo or the odor neutralizing instead of the extreme. And the conditioner would also help to seal the coat and maintain the vibrancy of it longer.
We have a question over here.
Okay. Question over here. And then we have another one over here we'll get to as well. What's your name and where are you from?
No, we can't hear you. Can we get this mic going? It's on? Maybe. 1 second. Hello? No? It's not on, guys.
Oh, the mic is here, I think.
Okay, so we'll go to the next question over here real quick, and then we'll come back to you. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Darling Elliott, and I'm from Tampa. My question for Gabe is if he uses the dilution cream by Opos when creating some styles, especially if you use it on the lion, because that's my next project.
Okay, so especially if you use in what?
On the lion style.
Yes. I do use the dilution, the cream from Opos. That's the one that I use because also comes more on the bottle. And you can mix it with different brands if you need to. However, some colors like red and orange are very saturated. So if you're trying to dilute red to get pink, you won't be able to do that. Because if you look at a color like a paint, right? If you're like, oh, I want to paint this canvas, and you mix red with white, you're going to get pink. But if you just dilute the red, you're going to get red still. So what I would do is I would dilute the color, and I usually have a white towel, and I put a little bit in the towel. And if you're wondering, you can even like rinse the towel a little bit and see how it turns out. But most of the time, colors like red and orange don't really dilute very well, and yellow tends to get a little splotchy. The other colors work fine.
Okay.
Especially if you're diluting a brown for the lion, it will work fine.
Thank you.
No problem.
Excellent. And I think we had another question over here, didn't we, Sylvia?
Yes, we do.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Camellia, and I'm from Austin, Texas. So my question was just with the dye as well. My issue with dyeing is that I have like bleeding issues when I'm doing lighter to darks. How do I keep them from separating on the body if it's not like a leg or anything like that, if it's like just on the torso or something like that?
Do they bleed when you're washing it?
They bleed like when I'm actually like applying the dye.
Different brands of dye have different consistencies.
Mm-hmm.
So you should try different products. You know, we have Crazy Liberty, Opals. Some of them are firmer than the others, and that helps if you're trying to keep a shape that is contained, right? For example, the Opals permanent dyes, they're very easy to apply. If I'm doing a pink like this is to apply in a big area because it spreads very fast, which is harder with the other brand. But if you want like a small area and you want to be precise in a certain area, then maybe you can try different brands. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think we have one more question over here. What's your name and where are you from?
Hey, I'm from Tampa. I have two-part question pertaining black dogs or darker colored dogs, and then what do you like? Because I don't see you doing a whole bunch of like black dogs. Like, what's your process for black dogs, or do you just avoid them?
I honestly avoid them. Yeah.
You do.
Yes. And the reason I avoid them is because of the black dyes, the black dogs. You need to bleach the hair, right? And it's not very well accepted by people on the streets because they associate. It's not as mild the product as it is the dye, and you can't really control like if it's a lab or if it's a poodle how much the color is going to lift. So you're not going to get to like platinum blonde most of the time. You're going to get to like a orangey, light orange. So you kind of also are kind of restrained by the colors that you can use. Sometimes when you put the blue on top of the orange, it doesn't look really blue. So I just avoid them because of that.
My second question is, do you avoid a certain coat type when you do dye jobs, like say like wiry coat, or like it just doesn't thick as good?
No, I don't really avoid them, no. About coat types, I would just do really any coat type.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait, before I go, can we make a video for a TikTok so you guys can be on my social media? Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick little video of her, And then a video of us very excited for my socials, so we can all be there together.
Of course.
Come on, you guys. If it's not on Instagram, it didn't happen.
You'll guys get to see Gabriel outside by the banner and take pictures and ask him more questions. So sorry we didn't get to you, but you guys will have your time.
Yes, absolutely. Also, just a heads up, if you are in general admission and you did not receive your bag and your certificate yesterday, they will be waiting for you at the front desk after the show, so you can go pick those up over there. And Alpha Grooming is gifting everybody with free shipping for orders online. You can use code MEGASHIP at checkout for free shipping exclusive to attendees of this event.
Okay, can we do one?
Yeah,
I
let's
want
do
you
it.
guys too, can you be over here? Because I'm going to do this.
Oh,
Let's
like you
see,
want us
I
to
want
go
to get
downstairs?
everybody on
Or
it.
right
Yeah.
here?
Okay.
Yeah, right there. Okay.
Here?
So, okay, guys, so
Guys, you know I have heels
very
on.
excited. Hopefully, you're not going to be scared, right? Okay.
I feel, yeah.
Okay, so on the count of 3. 1, 2, yay! Yes! Baby. Okay, thank you guys so much.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Guys, let's give him a round of applause.
And don't go anywhere, guys, because we are going to do a final raffle for the social media winner. And if you want to win, you got to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, we still got more in store for you guys. Don't go nowhere.
Hello. The video for the sponsor? Yes. Yes, we'll take care of that now. I just clear the stage. We need the...
Here we go.
Okay, guys.
What a way to finish the show, right?
I loved it.
That was so good.
Yeah, let me put you.
Did you guys love it?
So good.
You guys have been doing amazing on the social media. So much
like,
content.
what
I don't know what to do with
right now?
myself. So you guys have been doing really, really well. I do want a huge favor from you guys. Since Gabriel had you guys do a TikTok,
Really, we're
we
here
need
to
you guys
take
to do a little reel
Did you
for
guys take your
us.
dogs for photos?
So would you like to explain it to them, Jeremy?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So we have a tradition that we started in Brazil where we took the Brazilian flag. I don't know if you saw the video for the promo for Mega Grooming Show where the flag went over the camera and then whoosh down and there was a crowd and lots of
Everyone was all
lights.
excited.
So what we need from all of you is to pull out your cell phones, get those lights on.
Put the flashlights on.
And what we are going to do is
God,
I
I love
am
how
going to bring a USA flag out because obviously this is the first edition of Mega Grooming Show USA! And that's what I need all of you to do. And I need this to be one of the loudest cheers of the night.
This is going to be on all the promo, guys. You know, you're going to be out there. This looks great. I love this.
Okay. So let's get this flag. Let's make sure I have it the right way as well. Okay, Sylvia, are you about ready?
I think so. Hold on a second.
Okay, guys, be ready, be ready. As soon as I put... Yes, everybody up,
Yes,
everybody
put the
up.
phones-
Let's go,
oh, yeah,
let's go,
everyone
let's go,
up.
let's
Yes,
go.
let's go.
Everybody up.
Stretch those legs.
Okay, and I need all
lot
of
of
you
energy,
to
high
get ready
energy.
to cheer as loudly as possible. Are you ready? Okay,
That
here
flag
we
goes down, guys.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful.
Amazing, guys.
On our
Thank you
first
so
shot, you guys need to make more reels with me.
Okay.
Again?
We're going to do some photos as well.
Oh.
Perfect. Would you be able to take this? Oh. With the flag. Okay, perfect.
Other way.
Other way. Whoop.
Whoop.
Can you tell I've been operating off of like 3 hours
We're
of
going
sleep?
this way?
Okay, I need everybody to stand up again. Everybody up again. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. We're going to get photos.
Put those flashlights.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
That was wonderful.
Okay, with that, Sylvia, I think we are about ready to get started with our final raffle. And please, we're going to do the raffle, and then I would like to bring the reference groomers out.
Or a giveaway.
I'm sorry. We need to do the sponsors first. We have one final sponsor that we're going to bring to the stage for a short message. We're going to have a video play first, and then we will be bringing Yo from Gabe to the stage for a quick message.
Yes. No.
Completely flat edge, like a rake. So as it cuts here, the edge is the whole thing, and then it goes to the medial ridge. It's a 4% decline here, so as the hair comes up, there's nothing behind it. So it's actually creating a larger groove as it goes through the hair than the rest of the scissors. I got that with chainsaw blade. The actual teeth are larger than the bar, so as it cuts through the wood, it creates a larger groove so it doesn't get stuck. And apply that to a pair of scissors. As it goes through, it's creating larger grooves, so it's literally like going like a laser that goes through the hair.
We love to invite you to a new mega event. This June 9, 10, or 9, join us at Mega Grooming Show.
Please welcome to the stage Yo from Guy Buttercup.
Hello, guys. Is there anybody else agree with me that this is being a mega event? Are you agree with me? Sorry, my voice is off, but I assume everybody here investing time and money. So we take education very seriously, and there was one requirement to be stay here with this class. That was hangover, right? So who else is like this? So anybody else? Okay, good. So by the way, my name is Joe Elvis, but you're gonna forget that in probably 2 minutes. So just keep it Joe. That's fine. I am brand ambassador and reference pet groomer for Guy Buttercup. So yeah, we speak same language, but also same passion. Dogs and this amazing, beautiful industry. So first thing I want to say is thank you to Pet Society, thank you to Hydra, thank you to these amazing artists, to the host, to this crew. I mean, without them, we won't be here. So Guy Buttercup is a company that I love for 10 years. I've been working very close with them for 2 years, but my passion behind that company was when I started grooming dogs, when I started getting better, when I started seeing, what I can do with a better tool, with a better opportunity. So Guy Buttercup's been 49 years on business. It's a family-owned and operated business. It's very, very emotional to be working with somebody that is as passionate as you for a product, for something that is our life. I mean, without that tools, we won't be able. So that's what it is. It's a company that is strong foundations on family and, values. So I'm pretty sure that most of you guys already try. If not, I invite you to, check it out, website, buttercup.com, or just DM us, all social media. I would like to say thank you very much. We definitely gonna be here next year for you guys. We appreciate you. We thank you, all of you, for being here. And thank you. See you there, okay? Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Yo. And thank you to Guy Buttercup for being a sponsor at the first edition of Mega Grooming Show USA. Give them a round of applause, guys. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This event would not be possible without our sponsors. And I think we are just about ready to do our final giveaway. This is the social media one.
Giveaway, yes. Should I tell them their fabulous prize, Jeremy?
Yeah, absolutely. Can we get our prizes out on the stage?
Our
So this is-
sponsors have
so
generously donated these fabulous prize. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yes, absolutely. So this is going to be the prize where we select one of you from your hashtag Mega Grooming Show USA post. We had an opportunity to review the thread and we have selected a winner.
Yes, we have.
So tell them what they are going to win, Sylvia.
So our lucky winner is going to win a limited edition Gabriel Feitosa Andis Pulse ZR25 clipper with accessories, a ladybird apron, a pair of shears from Guy Buttercut, an Alpha Grooming mini mat, and this one's a big one, a dryer from Electric Cleaner Company, and of course, a Hydra Vegan Detox bundle.
Excellent.
Okay, y'all ready?
So before we announce the winner, I just want to say thank you to everybody that joined us online for Mega Grooming Show USA's first edition. We're so happy that you got to join us from the comfort of your home, and hopefully we see you next time at Mega Grooming Show USA.
Yes, guys,
so thank you for joining
make some
us.
noise for them.
Okay, so